From a couple of days, it's been burning. I would say for a week.
Okay.
But till this morning, we noticed that the direction had changed because it was now on this side of the road than on that side.
The change in direction of the wind this morning had a direct effect on how the bushfires along the George Price Highway are burning. By mid-morning, the fire had jumped the highway and was quickly heading westward, becoming an immediate threat to buildings that, a week ago, were never in its path. Residents of Mile 14, like this man who only gave his first name as Kevin, were closely monitoring the fire that was burning near their homes.
It took probably half an hour for the fire to get over on my side because it actually started like half mile away up the road around the curve, and it started on the other side of the road. But with the strong wind and the breeze, it blew across on my side, and it's very unbearable. And with the heat, everywhere is dry right now, so it's easy to catch. I had to look out for the neighbors because some of my neighbors are at work. So one of the neighbors is in the States. So I had to grab a hose and go and wet his vehicle, around his house, in the yard, his plants and things. No? I had to relocate my pet over to a neighbor's house because as much as I can bear it, I think my dog can bear it too. So I have to look out for my animal because my animal look out for me,
The Mountain View campground near Mile 25 had also come under threat, and Gilberto Rosado was helping the caretaker to keep the flames away.
We got saved by a north wind that came in and shoved the fire away from the buildings. If you would see how they are located, it was supposed to come straight across to the road. But that breeze came in and diverted it, and that was what minimized the whole situation of protecting this whole property.
Further inland, the Belize Zoo came under serious threat a week ago when another bushfire burnt the perimeter of the zoo and staff had to spring into action to save the facility, as Conservation Program Manager Jamal Andrewin Bone told us.
We spent the better part of 3 days battling fires day and night that were threatening. Where we're standing at the moment is actually the Sharmatola Wildlife Sanctuary, and just behind us up the road is where the zoo started originally. There are still structures there that are now owned by scientists that runs a research station. So we're neighbors. The fire that came up from the east towards us threatened the Tropical Education Center, our neighbors nearby, and of course the zoo by extension.
The zoo is a founding member of the Maya Forest Corridor Fire Working Group, which has been doing training and providing equipment and gear to communities and responding to wildfires in central Belize with funding from the U.S. Embassy. And Bones said they had to use all their resources and volunteer hands to protect the zoo.
Ourselves, along with support, our colleagues from WCS and FWC, were out here basically trying to keep the fire at bay. And in some areas, we even put in backfires to meet the main one, to have it extinguished where they met up. It affects the animals the same way it does us human beings, Marion. It can impact their respiration. If it's severe smoke, it impacts their eyesight. It elevates heat measures. So, we already have concerns about high temperatures. Okay. So that smoke-filled area with no breeze and a lot of debris in the area just makes it kind of like an oven. Everything is baking. So in those cases, while our team is trying to put out the fire as quickly as possible, the people responsible for the animals will just ensure that they have access to additional water, they can cool down, all of them have access to ponds or things they can immerse themselves, and we just monitor.
On our way back, we observed firefighters hosing down a house near Mile 12 that was almost gutted by another fire that drifted in that area. District Supervisor with the Belize National Fire Service, Kenneth Mortis, said there are things that people can do to prevent a fire from destroying property and lives.
Our number one advice would be to create a fire clearance perimeter around your structure, whether it be a 6 feet clearance or a 10 feet clearance. Now you might want to ask yourself, why do I want to go and cut bush around my house? For that same reason. My biggest thing is, I know that you represent a National Fire Service, but Unfortunately, we are not in a position to cover every corner of the country.
The people who are directly impacted by the bushfires today had a message for people who wantonly set these fires and leave them to spread.
If you spark a small fire, you actually have spread, and it spread real fast, as I could say. So to the person there where they light the fire, come on guys, you don't have to think, man. Stop being careless.
We won't condemn people for setting fires. What we will say though is that you are obligated by law to do so responsibly. The fire that starts in your backyard or your farm, it may be your business, but if it gets out of hand, it becomes everybody's problem.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.